All right, guys, today we're going to talk about making cover letters. And cover letters and resumes are very closely linked because a lot of times when you send out a resume, you're going to also send out a cover letter. So, what are cover letters? Cover letters are just a way to formally and eloquently introduce yourself to a potential employer. Instead of just sending them all your information in your resume, your cover letter is your opportunity to actually introduce yourself. A cover letter should be succinct and should be to the point. That you it shouldn't be a super long letter. It does not have to be long and definitely should not be too detailed, as all your relevant details for your qualifications for the job will be included in your resume. So it's really just going to be a way to introduce yourself, and instead of just throwing out your information, you're eloquently speaking to your potential employer. Your cover letter is always going to have your elevator pitch in it. An elevator pitch is just a 30-second speech that's meant to tell someone about yourself and what you are planning for the future. It's literally meant to be given when you're riding an elevator with somebody and they can't go anywhere. So your elevator pitch, as I said, is just a little 30-second message, if not shorter, that you can deliver to give someone your basic professional history and your goals for what you want to achieve in the future. It should be something, as I said, that you can say from start to finish in the time you spend riding an elevator with somebody, right? Because a lot of times elevators are a good place to pitch something because your audience can't really go anywhere. So then what we're going to do first before we do the actual cover letter is to write an elevator pitch according to a job posting. So the first step you're going to do is going to open the elevator pitch and job posting assignment in Schoology. At the top of that doc, there's going to be a link to Indeed.com, which is a job posting website. So you're going to go to Indeed. And again, that link is in the very first question of the doc. You're going to type in the job you want: teacher, lawyer, engineer, pilot, whatever it is, and where you want to work, right? If you want to work in Philadelphia, that's fine. If you want to work outside, it doesn't matter. Jobs anywhere. Click on one job and only one job listing that most interests you. Remember, you're considering a job for the future, so don't necessarily worry about your current situation, right? The fact that you're still in high school, that you haven't graduated, how old you are, whatever. We're pretending as if we have graduated from high school and we're trying to get into our first careers. Whether that means after college or just right after high school is up to you. But pretend that you're qualified for the job. You have all the necessary degrees and certifications to get the job. You just need to prove it now. What you want to do then is to copy and paste the entire job posting, the whole thing, every single part of it, into the appropriate section of the doc. Make sure you include all the aspects of the post: the qualifications, the benefits, the job description, all that stuff. After that, you're going to answer questions 2 through 5 on the doc as accurately as possible. They're really just related to yourself and to your interest in the potential job that you're looking at. And then you're finally going to write your elevator pitch. Remember, it's not going to be long. It's going to be like one paragraph, not even a very short paragraph. Make sure you follow the past, present, future model. So make sure that you're talking about your past, things you've done in the past, your education, your work experience, interests you've had from a young age that relate to the job, what you're doing right now, whether that be, when you're in college. Well, obviously not right now, but if we're pretending that you're out of high school and applying to a job, what you're doing at that moment that is relevant to the job that you want. What jobs are you working in? What college major are you majoring in? That kind of stuff. And then what do you want to achieve in the future? So things you want to accomplish in your career, and you can be specific about those things. There's an example on the doc that you can use as a guide. I highly suggest that. When you are done with your elevator pitch and job posting, make sure you turn that in, but make sure you hold on to it as well, because you're going to use the elevator pitch in your actual cover letter. Speaking of which, if you finish the elevator pitch assignment, you're going to move on to the cover letter template assignment. So you're going to use the job posting, the same job posting that you had in the elevator pitch, and now you're going to write your cover letter addressing your interest and application for that job. So you're going to start with your address on the top right side of the letter and the employer information. And all this stuff you're just going to punch in. The format is there. You just need to fill in the spaces. Please make sure that you delete the brackets and the placeholders before you turn it in. You'll include the name of the employer, which is the company, or the person hiring if it's mentioned in the job posting. So sometimes they'll say, contact John Smith to apply for this job or something like that. So if you know the person's name, always use the person's name. Also include the address of the employer if you can find it. If not, just put the city and the state where the company is located. You'll also put the date the date that you complete the letter, obviously, and you can just use the date when you complete this assignment. But make sure you spell out the date, right? May 12th, 2020, or whatever it is. Don't put the numbers or just just put the year or anything like that. Make sure you have month, day, and year spelled out. Number 4, start the letter with a salutation, dear such and such. If you know the person's name, include it, obviously. If you don't know the person's name, you can just say, to whom it may concern. After the salutation, you're going to have your first paragraph, which is going to be your elevator pitch. So you're going to pretty much just copy and paste the elevator pitch that you wrote in the elevator pitch assignment and put it into the cover letter assignment. You can tweak the wording as needed so that it makes a little more sense. You just need to be word for word the same. Change it around so that it makes a little more sense. And then in your second paragraph is going to be your argument paragraph. So you're going to explain why you would be a good fit for this job. And based on what you know about yourself, you're going to prove to the employer how you would benefit their company. Make sure you use achievements or experiences that you mentioned in your resume that are going to add on to that, right? But make sure you're just not repeating the resume points off one by one, because they don't need that in the cover letter. They can just look at your resume and see it. So you want to kind of point out the highlights, some of the major things that you've done. And then your final paragraph is just a formal conclusion. You can keep the template for this paragraph as is, and just fill in the blanks with your own information. Just, again, make sure you're deleting the brackets and any placeholders that are in there. And then in the signature, make sure you sign your full name, first and last, okay? First and last. If you have any questions, please make sure you email me, reach out to me on Schoology, reach out to me on the Google Hangouts. We can sit down and plan a video chat at some point because I know this is a little complicated. So if you need any help, please let me know.